everyone, you know what, I think Donald Trump did well in D.C., Chicago's next, and all the cities that refuse the National Guard and ICE and violence. That's got to come to a stop, people, because I can feel it, you know, percolating, and it could turn out to be a third round of violence because of the feedback that we're hearing.
Fair enough, Mike. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Joe, line 5 in Mount Sinai. Joe, you got 15, 20 seconds. Get to your point, please. Joe?
Hello, Dominic.
Hi.
As far as what happened...
Yeah, okay, try again. I'm giving up. It's kind of crazy. They always...
It's done.
You did, but they always, I don't know, they're asking to do premium, I don't know, asking to pay membership. They become greedy. They don't want you to do the free one. Okay, see you later. Gonna pick up I at 4.
You don't have to walk around worried about what can happen to not even about me, about my family, about my grandkids. What's gonna... Anyway, I thank you for the call. I'm out of time, folks. I gotta tell you this. 11 days a month, $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org. And Harry joined the United States Marine Corps after being inspired by his grandfather, who also served our nation. James loved being a Marine. His life would change forever. During a training exercise, James lost consciousness and nearly drowned. The incident resulted in brain injury that left James blind and unable to use his body, susceptible to memory loss and even blood-borne dementia. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation built James a adaptive smart home to enable him to live more independently. Thanks for the generosity of friends like you.
Turn right on Union Street. Then turn right on Gates Avenue.
James Carey and so many other service members and first responders have paid a high price, keeping our country and our community safe through Tunnel to Towers. Friends like you have said thank you, not only through words, but through actions. America's heroes need your help now more than ever. Help heroes like James and their families. Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org.
Is New York's top leader, the crown jewel of talk radio. WABC New York, WRCR Haverstraw, and 107.1 WLIR Hampton Bays. News first at 59.
Yep.
WABC News starts now.
77 WABC News, first at 59 past the hour, 70 degrees, cloudy skies on this Tuesday, September 16th. Good afternoon, I'm James Flippin. It seems the Senate Judiciary hearing in which lawmakers are supposed to be asking questions of FBI Director Kash Patel can be better described as a chance for prominent Democrats to scream their heads off at a member of the Trump administration. Here's U.S. Senator Adam Schiff of California.
I'm doing is protecting our country from historic war and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven who to be able to turn Russiagate in January.
And then how about Director Patel and U.S. Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey?
If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
Dividing the country,
It is
I
my
follow
time.
you on your social media posts.
it is my time to address your concerns.
Some of the questioning centered on the FBI's investigation of the Charlie Kirk assassination as well as the Jeffrey Epstein case. Speaking of the assassination...
Use the right lane to continue on County Road 623, Grove Street. In a quarter of a mile, turn right on Claremont Avenue.
County Attorney Jeff Gray, who formally charged 22-year-old Tyler Robinson with aggravated murder today, making the suspect eligible for the death penalty if
Exactly.
found guilty. Utah, one of 5 states that allow execution by firing squad if lethal injection is unavailable. The FDA
In 1,000
is issuing a
feet,
warning letter to
turn
telehealth
right.
firms Hims and Hers Health.
According to the FDA, after a review of the Hims website, it found that the company was making false or misleading claims about its compounded semaglutide product, which is the active ingredient in Ozempic and Wegovy. The warning comes just months after Novo Nordisk terminated its collaboration with Hims and Hers, citing illegal mass compounding and deceptive marketing practices. The FDA has given the company 15
Turn right
working
on
days to
Claremont
respond
Avenue.
with specific steps taken to address the violations. Lisa G.
Violation.
WABC News.
In a quarter of a mile,
Dr. Robert Redford
turn right
died
on
at the age
Walnut
of
Crescent.
89, having passed at his home in Utah.
Violation.
One of his most notable films, The
What
Sting.
is your
which is brought
violation.
alongside Paul Newman, and this clip with fellow Hollywood legend Robert Shaw.
Yep.
You heard a thing to take it from you.
Choo-choo train, Charlie choo-choo train.
Feature game for months. You've just been waiting for you to
$2.99.
so you can cook it.
Redford won an Oscar in 1981 for directing Ordinary People. Israel has launched its full-scale offensive on Gaza City. The plan announced last month is to take control of the city and dismantle Hamas. Israel's Air Force spent last week bombing hundreds of terrorist targets. What's the job market like in New York for people with college degrees?
The Times says the job
Turn
market
right
for
on
people
Walnut
without
Crescent.
college degrees has improved, but employers also appear to have less need for college-educated workers, driven by technological change and automation. A friend on the board of a college tells me some students are now
In a
changing
quarter
their
of a
majors
mile,
to the
turn
sciences,
left on County
and
Road
graduates are looking
653,
for jobs in
Ridgewood
customer
Avenue.
service after AI is used. Many college placement offices are working hard to make job introductions for their graduates. Joe Connolly, 7750 ABC News.
An interest rate cut may finally be on the way following months of pressure from President Trump. The Federal Reserve kicked off its two-day Federal Open Market Committee meeting today in Washington, D.C. An announcement on a possible rate cut.
Turn left on County Road
Central Bank has
653,
indicated the likelihood
Ridgewood
of a cut
Avenue.
following a string of poor jobs reports. On the plus side, in terms of economic data, retail sales rose more than expected in August. Government figures show
In
sales
1.1
increased
miles,
0.6%.
turn right on County Road 655, Watchung Avenue.
Excluding autos, sales were double forecast and came in well ahead of July's pace. Bars and restaurants led the way, with gas station receipts up 0.5%. On an annual basis, retail sales were up 5%. I'm Matt Madden said. OpenAI is announcing new team safety features for ChatGPT, the popular AI chatbot. Now it will include an age prediction system and ID age verification in some countries. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman described the struggles of balancing OpenAI's priorities of freedom and safety in a recent blog post. He shares the company was working to build a system that would try to push users into a version of the software for adolescents ages 13 to 17 and one that's for adults ages 18 and up. The company made the announcement hours before a Senate Judicial. Vegas Raiders head coach Pete Carroll is addressing reports that claim Tom Brady regularly meets with offensive coordinator Chip Kelly. Carroll clarified during a press conference that Brady is not involved with the team.
He is not planning games with us. He's not talking to us about anything other than our conversation that we have.
Brady joined Fox Sports Live game coverage last year, but also holds a minority ownership stake in the Raiders. Questions were raised after the legendary QB was spotted in the coaching booth wearing a headset during Monday night's game against the LA Chargers.
In 1,000 feet,
On Wall Street
turn
today, a
right.
down day for stocks as the Dow closed down over 100 points. And from the Weather Center, tonight, a chance of rain with a low near 61, wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Those Snowby's rush hour is next, 70 degrees and cloudy in Midtown. I'm James Flippin.
Turn right
The
on
news
County
never
Road
stops at
655,
WABCRadio.com.
Sponsored by the United Healthcare Medicare Store in Jackson Heights. At the United Healthcare Medicare Store in
goddamn
Jackson Heights,
highway.
you can chat
In
face-to-face
1
with a
mile,
licensed
turn
sales
left
agent
on
who
County
understands
Road
the community and
652,
get clear answers
East
to your
Passaic
questions.
Avenue.
Find them at
Goddamn
3752 82nd Street between Roosevelt and 37th Avenue.
Goddamn highway.
Attention ditto heads. Attention Boy Scouts. Moved by the student emotion. Nerd League. It's time for the soul of excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour
It's a
is
goddamn
on the
highway.
air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
I just got fired without warning. I found out because I couldn't log on to Slack or Outlook. So that was really fun. I don't know who needs to hear this, but your boss is not your friend, ever, and you're not safe at your job. So you should cultivate backup options at all times, because capitalism sucks, and you're not safe, unfortunately. And I'm gonna be fine, but a lot of people in my position wouldn't be fine. So I just want this to be a warning to whoever's out there and is getting cozy at their job. Don't.
I just want to say thanks a lot, MAGA. You guys did get me fired from my job. I was an engineer for 12 years. So for the first time in 12 years, I have to get back into the job field. So much for freedom of speech, huh, guys? Crazy. Unbelievable.
Welcome, my friends, to the Tuesday edition of Boston Early's Rush Hour. Fastest hour in American media. Two voices from what is turning out to be a cascade, a waterfall of people that are losing their jobs because of things that they felt free to post on social media. For the record, I don't mock people that lose their jobs. I want to say that up front. In my own life, losing jobs a few times that has happened. Very traumatic experiences, and I don't. Of course, I didn't go on social media. There was no social media back at the time, and start ranting, wishing people horrible things, gloating about assassinations. That's something that, until recently, most people in this country that grew up at a certain time would never think that this would happen, because people were too decent. There was a decency throughout the country that people would not do those kind of things. But even still, I'm not going to mock people that lose their jobs. I hope they find work, and I hope that in some cases they reflect on what has led them into that position. But there is almost half the stories that I have in today's presentation concern speech in one way or another. Pam Bondi made some remarks saying that she will target hate speech right away. The critics pounced on Pam Bondi.
Yeah.
You know, which some of you may agree with this and some of you not. Some of you in the conservative movement, some of my fellow conservatives might think I've lost my mind when I say this. Pam Bondi takes a lot of heat that I notice other attorney generals did not take from within their party. No matter what Eric Holder did, you would never find Democrats running to the press, whining about Eric Holder. They wouldn't do it.
Give it away
and
now.
he did
Give
a
it
lot
away
of
now.
That deserved scrutiny and never got it.
Turn right on County Road 622.
Back when Janet L. Reno
Give it away
was
now. Give
Bill
it away
Clinton's
now.
AG. Even with all the Waco stuff and everything else, she did take a little heat from John Conyers, but that was about it. But with that exception, Janet L. Reno, you didn't see Democrats, as soon as Janet L. Reno said something, marching and whining and moaning. Those are the two biggest names, the Clinton AG, and of course there were others, and the wingman for Obama, Eric Holder. But Pam Bondi, she opens her mouth sometimes and boom, here come not the liberals, but some of the people in her own party that just start to immediately denounce her for what she's saying. Some of them seem to be, if I'm reading in between the lines correctly, and I may or may not be, insinuating that, well, I'm not even going to finish that thought.
Give it away now. Give it
It's not
away
clear
now.
if the amendment provides sweeping protections for free speech. Well, then what is hate speech? What are hate crimes? This was the argument that was waged in this country when Democrats were demanding that criminal activity be consigned special enhancements because of hatred. And many of us back then argued with the premise.
Give it
How are you
away.
going to
Give it away
determine
now.
if someone hates what's inside? Well, you can do it by their words, by what they've said, was the answer. So if they say something, let's say, that is homophobic, that is racist, while they're committing the crime, then that's a hate crime. It's based on speech. It's not based on the actual delivery of the crime itself. It's, in other words, it's not based on, let's say you had a stabbing. It's not based on the act of stabbing. You can't establish that one stabbing has hate in the stabbing and the other stabbing. They're both stabbings. That's it.
Exactly.
What determines whether it's hate is what the person's intention was.
Exactly.
And the intention
That's what I'm
is
talking
established by what they have said. Things they have
In
said.
1,000 feet, use the right lane to continue
I'm
on
using a
County
little
Road
Letitia. We got
644,
Letitia soundbite
Kingsland
today.
Street.
Letitia was on with Joy Reid. We didn't bother to put... Anyway. Oh, hey, did you know, Carlos, our Fanny's in the news. We haven't played the Fanny Stuffing song. Okay, good. Let me just get to the story just so I can hear the song. But anyway, Pam Bondi has now clarified what she said earlier, which should please everyone. For according to Charlie, in our society,
Yep.
she has published on Monday, we're actually going to target, to go after you if you're targeting anyone with hate speech. The amendment, they said, that's funny. You guys didn't want to talk about that. Has there ever been a loving stabbing? No. That's a great point.
In half a mile,
You guys
turn
didn't want
left
to
on
talk about
Cathedral
all that when
Avenue.
we were talking about hate crimes and hate laws. And then, of course, your conservatives that are...
Delivery.
Ron Dre, a conservative Substack author, said Bondi should either retract or resign. And then Eric Erickson. Eric is a friend of mine. I love Eric. Eric, I disagree with you wholeheartedly on this. Our attorney general is apparently a moron, she said. There's free speech and then there's a hate speech. He wrote in a post on Monday. Unless I have something out of context here, which I'm going to allow for the possibility of, and this is what I was saying, I believe, there are a lot of people implying that Pam Bondi's not the brightest bulb in the joint. Look, I think Pam Bondi folks, we just came through 4 years of Joe Biden and what he had done to the DOJ. Are you seriously complaining about Pam Bondi? Are you really? Are you really? After what we have been through with the last administration and what didn't happen in terms of stopping any of it, are you seriously complaining about Pam Bondi? All right, we're going to take a break now because...
In a few. For Lynn Milam, the stimulator has restored her ability to climb stairs, cook, and travel. It's also restored a bond with her husband, Donnie, who wanted to celebrate her recovery by renewing their vows.
So that's what we did, and that night to me meant more than our wedding. It was like a rebirth of everything.
Donnie Milam says he's just happy to be back doing everyday activities with his wife.
Walking the dogs, holding hands, just the simple things and hugs.
John Hamilton, NPR News.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right on Ward Avenue.
Seriously?
It's WNYC. Stay with us. There's more All Things Considered just ahead. President Trump is traveling to the UK, and British security experts acknowledge that protecting him is a huge challenge. We're going to hear more on what's involved in the security operation of that scale coming up in just a moment.
WNYC support comes from Netflix, presenting Steve. Cillian Murphy stars as a devoted head teacher at a last chance school for troubled teens. In select theaters September 19th and on Netflix October 3rd. Rated R.
On or off, tariffs have consequences.
It only takes a small shift to ruin what was an otherwise profitable enterprise. The tariffs are that kind of tipping point.
I'm Kimberly Adams. Closing shop next time on Marketplace.
This evening at 6:30 on WNYC.
Continue straight for 8 minutes to State Route 490.
New Jersey. Jersey's Democratic candidate for governor makes her case to voters. Plus, what the medical drama The Pit means to healthcare workers who have watched it. That's the Brian Lear Show. It's tomorrow morning at 10 right here on WNYC. Right now here in Lower Manhattan, it's pretty nice out. It's 70 degrees. It's cloudy out. We're going to see lows tonight in the low 60s. Rain is possible tonight. It's more like a slight chance, but that chance will increase after midnight tonight. Thunderstorms actually are possible after midnight as well. Tomorrow, a much better chance of rain through the day. We're going to see highs only reaching the low 70s in the afternoon, the lows in the mid-60s tomorrow night. And on Thursday, rain is possible as well. We hope you stay with us. You're listening to All Things Considered right here on WNYC. It's Tuesday, just before 4:20.
Comes from member stations and from Fisher Investments. As a fiduciary, Fisher Investments is obligated to act in their client's best interest. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss. And visit St. Pete Clearwater, Florida, where visitors can unwind on white sand beaches and dine at restaurants. More at visitspc.com.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Elsa Chang in Culver City, California.
And I'm Mary Louise Kelly in London. Protecting an American president on the move is a gargantuan challenge in the best of times. As President Trump arrives here in the UK tonight, both British and American security teams are geared up to protect a man who survived 2 assassination attempts last year and whose close friend and political ally Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at an outdoor event last week. So what all is involved in a security operation of this scale? Well, let's put that question to Nick Aldworth, former UK National Coordinator for Counterterrorism. He is with me now here in our London Bureau at BBC headquarters. Nick, welcome.
Good evening.
Let's dive in with Windsor, which is where King Charles will host President Trump and the First Lady tomorrow. The president has been promised a carriage procession, open carriage. Dive in right there. If you were overseeing this security, what would go through your mind when you hear this?
Well, I used to look after the late Queen's mother, who lives probably half a mile away from the castle inside Windsor Great Park. So Windsor Great Park is a big open expanse. It's not an area that you could easily protect. You certainly have lots of long-range threats, both on the ground and from the air. And so it is my understanding that while President Trump will get his carriage procession, it won't be in the public domain. That I'm told they are currently erecting or have erected barriers around. So a space that is...
I'm told they're big white barriers that are being used.
Yeah, and they'll be there.
Block people's views.
They'll be there to block protesters looking in, and of course the occupants of Windsor Castle seeing protesters on the outside. But it does also provide some protection from view from potential threats.
You still have airspace above. What do you do about that?
Yeah, so the airspace above is actually already controlled airspace because it's part of the flight path into Heathrow. You actually fly over the castle on your way in. But there will have been additional measures put in. There will have been an exclusion zone for drones, and we now also have the ability to remove those from the air as well.
So that's on the high-tech end of things.
Yeah.
What if we go back to things like big white barriers? What value is there to very low-tech, very simple things, but that may make a huge difference when you're planning something like this?
Yeah, low-tech makes a huge difference, and in fact, the starting point for this event has been that it won't be a public event, and you can have little greater security than that, to be honest with you. So keeping a target from view prevents a number of attack methodologies. It prevents things being thrown, it prevents firearms, and it also prevents anybody from conducting hostile reconnaissance. So seeing where he might be going, where they could possibly launch, as I say, a drone attack.
Nick Aldworth, last time you and I spoke was 3 years ago, and that was on the occasion of Queen Elizabeth's funeral, when you had all kinds of other monarchs and quite a few presidents, prime ministers, lots of people all converging on Westminster Abbey in London all at once. On a certain level, does one American president present a simpler task?
No, it doesn't. It seems that waste presents a more complicated task. So I oversaw 2 presidential visits, Clinton and Obama, and I saw the lead up to the first Trump state visit, the complexity and the demands, I would say, that are made on British security by the American protective services are greater than those made by other nations as a rule.
Like what?
Well, I'll never forget doing the Clinton visits, but I thought I'd got everything nailed, you know. I've got dogs, I've got horses, I've got testicle systems all around the estate, I've got snipers, I had everything I could possibly imagine. And I'm walking around with my Secret Service counterpart, hopefully reassuring him that things were okay. And he said, what about aerial infiltration? By which he meant a parachutist. And I've got to be honest with you, that was not a threat that we'd necessarily considered.
You had not planned for someone literally parachuting in.
Exactly. But thankfully, some quick thinking, quick talking, put that one to bed fairly quickly.
Nick Aldworth, thank you.
You're welcome.
He's former national coordinator for counterterrorism here in the UK, also founder and director of Risk to Resolution Limited, that is a private security consultancy.
Prosecutors in Utah have formally charged Tyler Robinson with aggravated murder. That's in the shooting death of the conservative activist Charlie Kirk. They will pursue the death penalty. They also revealed new information about Robinson's roommate and communications between the two immediately after the shooting. Martha Harris from member station KUER was at the press conference that prosecutors gave in Provo, Utah, and joins us now. Hi, Martha.
Hi, Elsa.
Okay, so tell us more about what prosecutors were saying today as they announced these charges.
Yes, they announced that they're filing 6 felony charges and 1 misdemeanor against 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, including aggravated murder. Here's Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray.
Following the press conference, I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly, and it is a decision I have made independently.
Other felony charges include discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering.
Right, and with respect to witness tampering, I understand that charge, it's for Robinson allegedly asking his roommate to delete messages that they shared about the shooting, and Robinson telling his roommate to stay silent, yeah? What kind of details did prosecutors give about those texts?
Yes, County Attorney Gray read a string of texts between Robinson and his roommate, who he did not name. Gray said the roommate is a, quote, biological male transitioning to female, and said the two were in a romantic relationship. Gray said Robinson, when asked by the roommate why he did it, said that Robinson allegedly wrote that about Charlie Kirk, quote, I have enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. Gray said the text messages indicated he'd been planning the attack for a bit over a week.
And what about the gun that was used to kill Charlie Kirk? Did we learn anything new there?
Yeah, so Jeff Gray said that Robinson was the owner of the gun, which he said was a gift. He also said that in the alleged text message exchange between Robinson and his roommate, Robinson said he had left the gun wrapped in a towel under a bush, and he was hoping to recover it before leaving town. Robinson said the gun had belonged to his grandfather. Gray said Robinson's DNA was found on the trigger of the rifle. Gray also said that when police executed a search warrant at Robinson's home, they found a bullet casing with etchings similar to the ones found on unused bullet casings in the rifle. Those etchings included statements that appear to be anti-fascist messages, but again, it's still unclear at this point what exactly they mean.
Well, I understand that Tyler Robinson is scheduled to make his first appearance in court in like a half an hour, right? What do you think?
Yeah, who's in the building?
Yeah, so we're expecting this to be a very brief hearing. He will be formally advised of the charges against him. At this point, we don't know if he has an attorney. Robinson is being held without bail in the Utah County Jail near Provo, and we expect that the U.S. Department of Justice will file charges against him at some point.
That is Martha Harris from KUER in Provo, Utah. Thank you very much, Martha.
You're welcome.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.
NYC. All Things Considered continues. President Trump is traveling to the UK, and British security experts acknowledge that protecting him is a huge challenge.
the trade-offs are ever present, and
Use the
there
right
is
lane to
almost
exit
no
right
public
to
access here
Weehawken,
whatsoever. For
Hoboken.
all intents and purposes, it's a private vision.
More just ahead. These headlines are coming up next on All Things Considered. Right now, 70 degrees here in Lower Manhattan. Cloudy outward, see lows in the low 60s overnight. And then for tomorrow in our area, a pretty good chance of rain through today.
Any lane, any lane, any lane.
Stay to the right to South Marginal
on a
Highway.
Tuesday at 4.
Any
Use the right
lane,
lane to
any
stay to the
lane,
right
any
to
lane.
Hoboken, Lincoln
Every day
Tunnel.
at WNYC, we bring you the news and
Stay in
conversations
Hoboken
you rely
now.
on. In exchange, we rely on
In
you
a
to
quarter
bring
of a
important
mile,
news stories
use
to
the
us.
right 2 lanes to
If you
stay
have
to
a
the right
story
to
in the
Lincoln
public
Tunnel,
interest that
South
you'd like
2.
to share, or confidential information we should know, we want to hear about it.
Any lane,
Visit our
any
newsroom's
lane.
tips page for all the ways you can get in touch. Just go to gothamist.com/tips and share your story.
WNYC support
Stay
comes
to the
from
right to
59
Lincoln Tunnel,
E59
South 2.
Theaters, presenting This Much I Know, a new play by Jonathan Spector about the science of decision-making, through October 19th. Tickets at 59e59.org.
Any lane, any lane, any
Independent journalism in the public interest. 93.9 FM and AM 820. NPR News and the New York Conversation.
Live from NPR News in Culver City, California, I'm Dwayne Brown. Fallout from both sides of the political aisle today after comments from Attorney General Pam Bondi, who said on social media that her agency will go after anyone who engages in hate speech following the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. On top of it, Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson called for tamping down that type of rhetoric.
What I'm trying to advance here is this idea that we can have vigorous policy debates. That is the legacy of Charlie Kirk. He loved the debate. But he didn't hate the people on the other side, and that's what I'm trying to encourage all of us to remember. We can have vehement disagreements on policy, but it shouldn't be personal.
Bondi later clarified her comments to specify hate speech that crosses the line into threats of violence. Meanwhile, House GOP leaders are hoping to vote on a bill that would include additional security funding to protect lawmakers in the wake of the Kirk assassination. A new investigation by Yale University's research lab says Russian authorities are militarizing abducted Ukrainian children. NPR's Joanna Kakissis has more from Kyiv.
Investigators at the Humanitarian Research Lab at Yale School of Public Health say they have found more than 200 camps where Ukrainian children as young as 8 are taught Russian patriotic education and combat skills.
They're giving them actual training in grenade throwing, and in one case, we know they're involved in the manufacture of drones.
Nathaniel Raymond is the director of the Humanitarian Research Lab.
They are in a training pipeline that has tactical scenarios and curricula that would lead only to one conclusion. They're not taking them to paratrooper jump school to make them mall cops.
Investigators used open source evidence and high-resolution satellite images to locate the camps.
That's Joanna Kakissis reporting. This is NPR.
And it's on WNYC in New York. I'm Sean Carlson. 70 degrees right now at 4:32. New York Governor Kathy Hochul got her COVID vaccine earlier today, and she says you should too. The governor got a booster shot at a pharmacy in Hell's Kitchen. She touted her executive order allowing pharmacists to prescribe and administer the jab to those ages 3 or older.
Here in the state of New York, we actually believe in science. We believe in preventative measures like shots, and that we will not bow down to what the federal government is trying to impose on us.
Hochul's order came after the Food and Drug Administration approved the vaccine without a prescription, but only for those 65 and older or for those with pre-existing conditions. But the governor's order didn't require insurance companies to cover the shot. Hochul says she can't do that without legislative approval. Construction is underway on a major flood protection system in Red Hook. WNYC's Phil Corso reports the $218 million project aims to protect the waterfront neighborhood in Brooklyn from rising seas and storm surges.
City officials say Red Hook is one of New York's most flood-prone neighborhoods, sitting just 4 feet above sea level. The new project will install nearly 2 miles of flood walls and gates, raise some streets, and upgrade sewers. They'll also add trees, bike lanes, and improve public spaces, like the park near IKEA. City officials say the goal is to protect homes and businesses from future storm damage and avoid the kind of costly repairs seen after Hurricane Sandy. Salt water from Sandy damaged infrastructure at the Red Hook Houses nitrogen development.
Oh my God,
leaving residents without power for weeks. The fictional coffee house from the 90s sitcom Friends is opening a real-life Midtown location. Later this fall, Central Perk Coffee is coming to Times Square on the northeast corner of 7th Avenue and 47th Street. The cafe was blown away from the suspicious looking fake phone character from the 90s sitcom, which aired on NBC from 1994 to 2004.
שלחתי את כל זה לכל החברי הכנסת, לפרשה. דיברנו עם אבי, זה ואלמוג כהן, אנחנו צריכים כתבת, והוא יכול להיות שכתבת תתערב בזה. למה אני אומר, אילו עכשיו...
Estimated time in traffic, 8 minutes. In 1.5 miles. Stay to the left to 42nd Street, uptown, downtown.
אם יש חשש מינימלי, אם השופט הזה בסוף עניין מכתב פיטורים ועזב, למה במשך שנה הבן אדם, תקשיב, ניגשו אליו, הוא גר בארצות הברית, הוא נסע ממיימי ללוס אנג'לס, נפגש בשגרירות עם אותו קצין משטרה, יש לו וואטסאפ עם קצין משטרה, יש לו תיעוד עם הקצין משטרה, מגיש תלונה, תחקיר לגבי אותו שופט, וממצמסים את המשטרה, מצמסת את זה בהוראה, כי אישור לחקור שופט זה של היועצת המשפטית לממשלה, והיועצת המשפטית לממשלה כנראה לא מאפשר, כי זה אנשי שלומם של החונטה, זה יכתים את שמם, יש להם שופט שעלול בחקירה ליפול באיזה מקרה לא נעים או לא ראוי או לא, הוא מודה בשיחה שזה לא אתי, שזה לא ראוי, אבל לא הלכתי, אבל כן הלכתי, זה לא עשיתי בפועל. דרך אגב, דיברתי עם שפדופיל נתפס, מודה, מתוודה, לא ביצע, אלא התכתב עם ילד. פדופיל התכתב עם ילד. באתר, לוקדי הפדופילים תפסו, תעמתו, אבל הוא לא ביצע, הוא לא הספיק, כי הם עלו עליו. הוא לא הספיק להגיע לילד ולעשות, לאנוס אותו. הוא לא, אילו היה, זה היה עושה ביצוע עונש פדופילי, זה היה מקבל ביצוע. אבל, נניח, ניסיון לרצח, בסדר? נענשים על ניסיון לרצח. ניסיון לרצח של ילד, נפש של ילד. שהתכוון הבן אדם לאנוס אותו, התכוון לעשות עם ילד בגיל 13, 14, 12, להביא אותו לפיתוי מין. השופט מכנה את עצמו באותו אתר, קורא לסקס. זה לא יאמן. השופט מכנה את עצמו באותו אתר, קורא לסקס. דרך אגב, השופט הזה הוא גבר, כפי שאתם... לא, זה... אלא מה, השופט הזה מלמד 2 ילדים. אם הוא נמצא באזורים האלה, ואני לא אומר שהוא פדופיל, אם יש חשש, אחי...
happening, and I sometimes think that that's what's currently happening, and that's why I feel like reality is I feel like I'm losing touch with reality sometimes, because I genuinely feel like I'm going fucking insane these days with some of the shit that's happened and some of the shit that I'm trying to, like, I can't even process half the stuff, and dick, oh my god, sorry, I got stuck again. I genuinely think it's important to talk about these things, though, because, yeah, it's like, not everything is always what it seems, and it does reduce that stigma, because something as simple as coming on here and admitting that you're lonely, there is such a stigma to being lonely, because then everybody looks at you like you're defective. Suddenly everybody's looking at you differently, like, again, I don't talk to people at the gym anymore, and it's not because I'm like, I'm not being standoffish, I just genuinely don't, like, I don't want to talk to people because I stick to myself, and I already did, but people would approach me, and I was always very friendly, and I still am, but I'm just a little more like, okay, I have to go work out now, and it's nothing against them, it's me, I'm like, I've been traumatized by the gym, I have, and I kind of hate it there now, and that's fucking wild because it genuinely was Freud. Okay, cool. I'm glad I remembered that. Thank you. The gym used to be like genuinely my escape, and it was my happy place for a while. And now I literally hate it. Like I hate it there. I go because I have to work out. I have to, or I'm gonna like lose my fucking mind more than I already am. But I hate it there. I genuinely hate my gym. I don't like going there. I don't want to be there when I'm there. I don't enjoy it. Like I still enjoy working out, but it's just it's tainted now. Everything's so like fucked. I don't like that. Sensory. Whoa, hello, I just zoomed in. But thank you. But yeah, something as simple as saying I'm lonely, people look at you differently. Like if I were here to pretend, like girls, guys, doesn't matter. They're like, yeah, I didn't know, like, you seemed kind of intimidating, or I had one girl say, like, you seem like such a badass, I thought you'd be mean, and I'm like, what the fuck? What? And, like, one girl came up to me one time, this was a while ago, and, like, we got talking, and she's like, oh my god, you're so nice. Like, I was scared you were gonna be really mean to me. And I was just like, oh, someone's pulling in. Oh, I'm surprised. Hang on, this might get noisy. I'm gonna mute. insecure, you deal with shocked, and to me I always dealt with these issues. Like, what do you mean? Like, you didn't think I did? Because I feel like when you have these things, when you struggle with them, you assume that that literally everyone can see them as if they're not
She has a
actually invisible.
Speed camera ahead.
She has some
And
kind of
most of the time, yeah, people don't see them. People wouldn't know.
speech therapy. She has a speech issue. She's in TikTok. She has speech.
In 900 feet, continue to West 30th Street, 9th Avenue, downtown.
to someone else.
Turn right on 9th Avenue.
But maybe it fixed her. Tits. Tits. Then I guess it does nothing, and I am just. And then I guess it does nothing, and I am just online and complaining. But if it helps anybody or does anything, I don't know. I mean, I'm just like dick tits. I'm just like everybody else. I'm just trying to figure it out, and I'm not so great at it. Probably like a lot of other people. Some people seem a little bit better at it. And I'm tired and I'm frustrated of other people just...
In a quarter of a mile, stay to the left to West 20th Street.
Like, I'm genuinely who I say I am, and like the people that I connect with seem to be authentic, seem to be real and sincere as well. And then if those people turn out to, like, if they just do a complete 180, crazy, but I'm not malicious crazy.
Speed camera reported ahead.
My issues, I got my shit, my baggage. But it's not things that I use as an excuse to hurt other people or to inflict upon other people. My wounds are my wounds. I fight my own battles. I don't know. That's all I Tourette's decided to steal the show. Sorry about that. That's all I can do, because like I can't. I know a lot of people, they think, because it's like, it isn't fair. Like, the pain that was inflicted upon you was never your burden to bear. It was someone else's, but they chose to give it to you, so to speak, to hand it off to you, to inflict it upon you. And it was never your burden to bear. It was never yours to carry in the first place. And it's deeply unfair. It is. Like, if you actually think about it, I think about the person. I constantly have this, I mean, not constantly, but every once in a while I have these moments where I think about the person I could have been. If all this shit hadn't happened to me, if all this shit hadn't weighed me down, like, what person could I have been? I mourn for the person I could have been. I mourn for all the things that I could have done. Just, I wouldn't have been so scarred. I could have done more. I could have.
Okay, everybody, thank you for sticking around. See you tomorrow. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Shit that was never yours to carry.
Yeah, go physical therapy.
And it isn't fair. It's frustrating. Sometimes I even get angry. I don't even know. I mean, sure, I get angry at some specific people, but like, I don't even know who to be angry at sometimes, because sometimes it just seems so random. Like, the universe.
See you tomorrow.
It's like,
Peace
who
and
am I even angry at? I couldn't tell you.
Thank you, everybody.
But thank you guys for following, by the way.
Peace and love. Peace and love.